You know, it's actually late at night. The cool thing about Kentucky is there's always people that never sleep. And, we were done racing late in Lexington. And somebody said, hey, you want to go for a beer over at Domenico's barn? Went for a beer over there, and of course everybody's there. Scotty and Dexter Dunn and Todd McCarthy and Nancy was there. Everybody was there. And I was rushing to get my video done. I guess not rushing, but I knew that there were people waiting. Chris Lems was there. There was people waiting to go over and have a beer, and I want to do my videos first. And I get done doing my video, and I hit enter, send, and I realized that I hadn't talked much about Purple People Eater. I had a very weird day. Just a lot of stuff going on. I was very, very disappointed with the scratch of Pickpocket. And I think it's important also to note that it had nothing to do with Eric and Kathy. The horse was in perfect condition tonight. He looked very good. I really, truly believe it was just a simple, it's as simple as this. The veterinarian looked at Pickpocket. He's got that rickety, rusty way of going, and she was just trying to do her job. She is not going to gamble. And this is the way I put it to somebody. I said, for that lady to do her job, there is no gray area. If the horse is not sound, it is deemed lame. And that is how she looked at it. Well, when you look at Pickpocket going slow, he's got a rickety way of going, right? He just does. He always has. He's not lame. Just the way he goes. He's always done that. But it wasn't up for discussion. I had somebody email me and say, Anthony, if the horse is lame, he's lame. You got to get him fixed up. I don't know where you want me to start, because he's fine. He was fine. He is fine. So we'll move forward. I had somebody else. It was just such a weird night. I had somebody else attack me for leaving with Memory and Imagination. Why didn't you just take the 8-hole or the 7-hole you were given? Because they didn't come there to sit 8th at Lexington, I guess. Well, Yannick sat 7th and won the race. Yeah, well, that's because I set up the front end. If I take back to last, it's a totally different race. Besides the point, I came here to race. I didn't come here to train. And if he can't do good in that class, then he should be in that class. Simple as that. You know what, though? He fits the Sire Stakes Consolation that comes up in 10 days at the Poconos that goes for 40. Fits that very well. He fits the non-winners of 6 at Northfield, Meadows, Scioto. He fits in Corbin, but he does not fit in that $30,000 class. That's a steep bunch. It's a tough crew. Nobody wants to go up and battle with Carl, right? Nobody wants to go up in the $80,000 class. So they're happy to stay down in the 30, which makes the 30 actually the 80 that goes for 30, minus Carl. Feels like I've had people attacking me all day. I felt bad for all my partners in Purple People Eater. I felt bad for Justin. He did the classy thing. He messaged me after to say, I'm really sorry. It was a bad drive. I didn't want to shut her off when she got jammed up. At the end of the day, I drive bad all the time. Depending on who you ask, every time. I drove Memory and Imagination bad tonight, apparently. I didn't even get to drive Pickpocket, and somehow I drove him bad. It's tough being a driver. And all you can do is the best you can. When you make a mistake, apologize for it if you feel you have to. And move on. Yes, he drove Purple People Eater poorly. He acknowledged it. It's not the end of the world. He's a good driver. He's a good kid. He'll get a chance again. And I had somebody else say to me, just send me a message, how thoroughly disappointed they were in Captain Incredible tonight. I got to be honest. Anybody that says to me, here's a horse that has his second lifetime start. Forget the fact that his knee boots fell down or whatever. Let's forget about that. Here's a horse that paces 52 flat. Last quarter in 27-1. Last half in 54 seconds. Scotty literally, he said to me, he goes, I thought halfway down the lane he's a winner. He said, he's going to be a nice horse. There's no two ways about it. He's got a great attitude. He's got speed. Yes, we got to work on his mechanics of his gait, and we will this week. But for anybody out there that was disappointed with that 2-year-old colt pacing in 52, really just got to check your expectations. Somebody said, oh, well, he was a $230,000 colt. Well, Grand Slam DO got beat in nose by a $480,000 filly 2 weeks ago in the Wildcat, nonetheless. It doesn't work that way. You don't just pay a lot of money for a horse and then get it to the races and it's the best horse in the country because you paid the most for it. It doesn't work that way. And I know that these are learning experiences for everybody. Everybody learns. I learn, you learn. But we have to absorb that, right? A little frustrating to me when the expectation of the beliefs of people blur the lines in this barn. Am I to blame for that? Maybe. I guess. There's times when I say, hey, Time Is On My Side is a great horse, and then he's an ordinary horse at 2, he comes out in 3, he's okay. What if he didn't? Pickpocket, real nice horse, we're going to race him in the Breeders' Crown, he comes out, he's okay at 3. Memory and Imagination. But the one thing I just expect, because I've been in this game this long, is that people understand. Everybody has a nice horse. Everybody wants a nice horse, and lots of people, especially in this state, have very nice horses. So I hope everybody understands that, right? I was thoroughly impressed with Captain Incredible. His demeanor, his attention to his work today. It's a frustrating thing. Imagine when your knee boot falls down on your foot. Hard thing to do. Hard thing to take. I was impressed with him today. I was a little disappointed that Pickpocket got scratched. I was disappointed in the way that Memory and Imagination raced. I was disappointed in the way that Purple People Eater got driven. There's always tomorrow. There's always next week for racing. She'll bounce back. Pickpocket will go back to the races. Not here, but he'll go back to the races. Memory and Imagination will go back to the races. Not here, but he'll go back to the races. We have fillies to race tomorrow. It's a big barn. And we have bad nights. And when we do have bad nights, we have to learn from them. That's how the barn operates. So, for people that are feeling disappointed, I feel for you. I understand. I'm your partner on many of these horses. And it is disappointing in many times. At many times. But if the horses don't race good tonight, what we have to do is evaluate what we saw, what happened, what took place, and how we're going to turn that ship around. And I think when you look at everything that went on tonight, I have a pretty firm grip on what took place and how we're going to rectify it all. And that's the best we can do for tonight. So this isn't meant to attack anybody or acknowledge anybody or call anybody out. But I do want people to understand that there's a lot more to racing than one race. Captain Incredible is 2 races into a racing career. Memory and Imagination is halfway through his 3-year-old season. So is Pickpocket. So is Purple People Eater. And I think it's important that we understand that as we move forward. And I guess I'd be remiss if I didn't if I didn't finish with how we started today. Cleveland Masha, mildly better today as far as her time goes and her obvious understanding of her work. She was better today. I'm never disappointed when we're 4th in another province or state. But it looks like she is improving. So for my partners on all the horses today, didn't have the greatest day. We were 4th with Cleveland Masha. We were no good with Purple People Eater. We were scratched with Pickpocket. We were 8th with Memory and Imagination. And we were 5th with fourth or fifth with Captain Incredible. But I wasn't disappointed at all outside of the scratch and the race. And the reason I say that is because I know there's a path forward for each and every horse we race today. So with that, I'm going to let you go. Rather than having a morning update, a late night update. I'm all done for the evening. I'm going to have a good sleep. I'm going to get up and go right back at it tomorrow. We have 4 fillies racing tomorrow. Green Glitter starts it all off. So good luck to all my partners with all the horses racing tomorrow, especially the 4 we have in Kentucky. Take care. We'll talk to you all very soon. Have a wonderful, well, no, you're all asleep. Wonderful morning. Take care.